honestly, I played the last 20 seconds of the video I just recorded. And can you see my dog? She's in the background. No, you can't see her. Can't we just all be like dogs? No, because they kill each other in the dog park. Anyway, yeah, like, it's really absurd. The more I think about this, it's like, this is absurd. And sometimes I even find myself, like, doubting myself for even thinking about any of this, because it's, like, so silly to me now, which shows that it's kind of passed through my system, because it's not triggering, like, this anger response in me. Like, if anything, it just kind of makes me laugh at how absurd it was that I let these beliefs have authority over me in the past. But I know that it did in the past, therefore there's probably others out there right now, especially people who are, like, physically out, mentally in, where this does hold power. And I think you see that in the comment sections of a lot of XJW videos, where you have these, either they're lurkers or, like, active Jehovah's Witnesses who are being really, like, seriously rude in their comments, which shows that these beliefs do carry weight. But yeah, just the next time that word disfellowshipped means something to you, think of, like, the restaurant analogy, which I cannot take credit for. Actually, a family member kind of said, who cares? It's like getting kicked out of a restaurant. So thank you. You know who you are. Yeah. So how am I going to go into this meeting? Because I did think about, like, writing an opening statement, because I guess in the elders book, which I don't even have the energy to, like, reread, like, I'm finding, like, right now I could have had, like, 2 different choices in how I'm spending my week this week. One being, like, not thinking or preparing for it at all, or option 2, like cramming for a test, like cramming for my judicial committee meeting, so that I can, like, you know, serve the ball. Like, every tennis ball can be like a loaded scripture. I can be like, gotcha. And it's like, no. And I'll tell you why I don't want to do that, although I think it will be tempting just because of my personality. But I just want to read 1 Corinthians 13, and we've heard this scripture so many times, but it means so much more to me now. And I'm actually still reading from this. It's not my favorite translation, obviously, but it's here on the table. It says, if I speak in the tongues of men and of angels, but do not have love, I have become a clanging gong or a clashing cymbal. And if I have the gift of prophecy and understand all the sacred secrets and all knowledge, and if I have all the faith so as to move mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing. And these challenging scenarios really do call us to the higher road of love. And I just want to share this magnet that sits on my kitchen. And it was actually given to me by my sister-in-law, who, you know, I sent her a text message last week, but, you know, she's not responding, and that's her choice, but she's in my heart. She's a lovely person, and she gave me this magnet. It has a bulldog on it, of course, but take the high road. There's a lot less traffic. Speaking of traffic, and this story, I think, kind of will drive in the point, and then I'm going to get off this camera. 4 minutes. I woke up at like 5 o'clock this morning, and I ended up driving like an hour and a half to a tile store because I'm having this bathroom upstairs redone. And the person doing the job is like the sweetest guy. He's like so sweet that if I were, okay, so the project has complications, let's just put it that way. And like a large segment of the tiling and grouting have to be completely redone. And I'm like, you know, trying not to let like the OCD part of myself explode, because this guy is so nice. And he's like, it's okay, we'll just fix it. And I'm like, you know, and I have to go like buy more tile and blah, blah, blah. So I'm driving to this tile store, which is like an hour and a half away because I didn't buy tile locally because whatever. And I'm just thinking about how it's, you know, taking way more time, costing a lot more money, but him and I want the job done right. And it kind of reminds me of like Watchtower theology, like Watchtower doctrine, and how, you know, they had like nice ideas in the beginning, like Russell or whatever, and they were just innocuously meeting as groups and studying the scriptures, but then somewhere along the way they didn't follow the directions with grouting. Hopefully you're understanding this weird analogy. And now it's like this messy job, and instead of like going back and like taking out the bad tiles and saying, look, we did this wrong, we made mistakes, we're sorry, they want the members to pretend that there isn't like backwards tiles and like grout that's chipping and falling out all over where, and just like pretend that it's not there, or just kind of mask it over with like sloppy silicone caulk, you know, like does that make any sense? And so yeah, it does take time to untangle the lies and the control and the abuse of power and, you know, ideas and doctrines that literally shaped our lives and made us make decisions that probably our true self would not have made. But we can always go back and just like go back to the beginning, go back to the foundation and start. Someone was telling me, my really good friend Kat was talking about being very mindful of the words we use, because I was saying, yeah, you know, it's like starting over. She's like, no, it's just starting. Like that's a nice way to kind of phrase all of this, like we're just starting. Because starting over kind of denotes that we did it wrong. We did the best with what we had, and now we know better, so we can do better. So I want to end this on something really positive. It was very unexpected. I go to this little non-denominational church in my neighborhood, and I have been very irregular. And unlike when you're irregular at Jehovah's Witness meetings, like let's say you miss the meetings for 6 months and you come back, immediately everybody assumes that you're like spiritually sick. And oh, we've missed you. Like it's the love bomb, but like the love bomb with trepidation, because they're like, is this person good association? Like I have to vet them. So I haven't been very regular at these meetings, but I went on Sunday because I just needed some encouragement. And I got way more than that. It was wow. So there's this one lady in the church. Her and her husband were both diagnosed with cancer on the same day about a year and a half ago. And they're both, you know, battling that, battling other health issues in the family. I mean, I probably don't even know the half of everything this dear woman is battling. And she stood up in front of the congregation and thanked everybody for their prayers. She's like, your prayers have meant so much to me, and they have bolstered me. And she sang this song with sign language, and the whole congregation was crying because it was just like a thank you song to all of us, even though anyway, she made everybody in the congregation an encouragement box. I mean, look at this. She didn't spell my name right, but that's okay. Nobody does. My encouragement box, Allie. And inside, she's like a crafty person. Inside are all these, first of all, there's a flashlight. It's adorable. But inside were all these laminated cards and like beautiful sayings that were just like personalized. For God so loved Allie. And like, God will never leave you. Hebrews 13:5. Your battles belong to the Lord. 2 Chronicles. Like, bookmarks with like really good scripture reminders. Pray more, worry less. Like it's just like all of these things. Like, and I'm just like, wow. Had I not gone that day to church, like she would have given it to me a different day. But I'm like, it just blew me away. so that was on Sunday when I met the taco guy and I got this encouragement box. So yes, like this is evidence that this is why I still believe in God, because God keeps blessing me with so much beauty and encouragement. Like it's amazing. And I guess I'll just end with that. Oh, and I think at the beginning of this, I don't even remember what I was talking about. I was talking about like frequencies and words and like what they do to water, and like speaking to yourself, like your inner dialogue, because you're actually like affecting frequencies in your body. The two highest words, like the highest frequency, according to Dr. Amori Emoto, so maybe if you disagree, take it up with him, but I choose to believe this. The two words that have the highest frequency are gratitude and love. So that is what I'm going to focus on when I go to this judicial meeting. Grateful because I am free. We have been set free, and now it's, about living free every day, and love, because with love there is no law against it. Which is why, if you are, now I'm talking too much, but if you are disfellowshipped and you feel like you have to kind of give Jehovah's Witnesses this extra parameter of personal space and like you can't say hi to them, no, those are their rules. Maybe it will feel a little unnatural because I guess I tend to err on the side of letting other people kind of dictate how I should act, and it's like, no. If I stand for love and freedom, then I will say hello to everybody. And if they choose to not respond, that's on them. And in the words of Rodney Allgood, he gave a really motivational speech. Well, that's what he does for a living. But one of the things he said is, imagine if you were at the grocery store and your 6th grade teacher came up to you and was like, hey, Allie, good to see you. It's been like 25 years. But hey, you're still in detention. It's like, no. That's silly. So really, part of me wants to really see Watchtower be held accountable for these terrible policies they have in place, because they do. Like, the reality is people do commit suicide over things like this. So on the one hand, it is extremely serious and it needs to be exposed and spotlighted, and the people making these policies need to abolish them, apologize for them, redress people who've been affected by them, like retile the bathroom. It's a big mess. It needs to be retiled and, redone and apologized. And then there's like, I guess I'm now at the place where it's like, instead of being stressed out about it, it just is kind of silly to me. So please don't misconstrue that in the sense that anybody else who's gone through this and is feeling the effects with their family, yes, it's super real. It's complex. But in the meantime, we'll take the higher road. Shalom. Bye.